Feelings. I think Techland is trying to solve Dying Light 2's biggest problem with this new update. What do I mean by that? Am I talking about the guns? No, I'm not talking about the guns. I know everybody and their grandmother has been screaming for guns because they want guns in their zombie game. And that's fair. It's fair to ask for guns in your zombie game. But I did a little video many, many moons ago where I expressed my biggest frustration with this game. And it all centered around the Baba missions. I really enjoyed the Baba missions in this game. I love the idea of this, mysterious woman who runs an apothecary and she's, you know, saving people with her medicines. I mean, and you go out there and you farm these pretty tricky zombies to get the parts she needs to make her medicine. I love that idea. But unfortunately, by the 10th chapter, somebody down at Techland said, well, we got to wrap this up. So we're just going to say that all the work that you did for Baba was absolute bullshit, and she was just testing you the whole time to see if you could kill this guy that, she said was holding her hostage, and that was it. And then you face off with him in her backyard, and he goes from one voice actor to that generic bad guy voice, right? Hey there, fucker. It's all over for you. I'm gonna get you now. Woohoo! Just that craziness, right? Just utter laziness. But much like most of the missions, you run into the Carriers Guild and they're like, people need mail. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. So you go around delivering mail, and sometimes, you encounter like some very intense moments. Get to chapter 10, completely cuts you off. And then it's like, oh, well, the library needs books. That's a great idea. I'll go out and I will find these books for the library. You get to chapter 10, you knock boots with the library girl, and now nobody needs books anymore for the library. That's so wild because some of those bookshelves look a little empty to me. You get to Baba's missions. What a great idea. She sends you out to get exotic pieces from zombies so she can craft medicines for the community. I love it. Cool. There's some neat little night work, right? Get to chapter 10, it's all over. Nobody needs a bottle of aspirin from you. Nobody needs your help with anything. Nobody needs this or that. And that was pretty much the gist of that video. And it did get quite a few views. I don't know if it actually got back to Techland and they watched it. But I find it interesting that you find these notice boards around Villador now, and you get random missions. Find this person. Find this stuff. Can't get that right.
You're dead now, fucker.
That was on me. That was so on me. But yeah, you find these notice boards around Villador now that ask you to go do things for the people of Villador. And I think that is part of what this game has been missing the whole time. Instead of cutting the player off from meaningful content they can engage with, they now offer you several missions on these notice boards. And I, for one, am so happy to see that because that's exactly what this game needed. They have this huge world. Huge. Technically, I mean, if you want to talk about verticality, vertical stuff, whatnots, and such and so forths. And eventually you run out of stuff to do. Now, I remember early on when the game released, we were needing a lot of stuff. It was obvious the game was not finished. And Techland's answer to that was, "Oh, you want more things to do? We put more parkour challenges in the game." Nobody asked for more parkour challenges, but they added more parkour challenges into the game. And I think I fooled with maybe 3 or 4 of them. But that's not what the game needed. The game needed you, the player, to go out and do things. There's a challenge. There's a challenge. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when the game first launched, there weren't that many challenges, and they just kept adding more. Slam dunk. And this one over here, I think. But that's not what it needed. The game needed you, the player, to go out and do things. Techland listened maybe to some of that feedback and said, okay, we'll add daily challenges in the game in terms of like Harper and the Huntress. Daily challenges. They call them bounties, but really, this is just nothing. Nothing of substance, nothing interesting. Go out and kill 3 bolters with a toothpick, shove it right through their eye. There's your daily challenge, or some nonsense like that, right? I mean, come on, for real. That was not going to keep people interested. So they opted to do something interesting. They added actual side missions, and they are interesting. I've done at least one. I found this beekeeper. I was tracking down this beekeeper lady. It was good. That was good. I like that. There's other ones. There's missing persons posters. There's, you know, other things on these boards. Now I feel invested. Now I feel like I want to go out there in the city of Villador and do something. And I know people are talking about guns, and they're like, they can't get over, oh, Techland put guns in the game. Yay! There's guns in the game now, finally. But that is of no that means nothing. Just because they stick guns in your hand, what are you going to do? Okay, you got guns. Now what are you going to do? Well, you're just going to run around the streets and shoot a bunch of zombies in the face? No. Or do you want to go do something in the game, right? And the notice boards are giving you, the player, something to do. Something meaningful. Keeping you in Villador. Doing things for the citizens, the people that live here. And that's what I wanted to see in the game. And it looks like, after all this time, they've finally done it. And I, for one, applaud them for that. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to hate Dying Light 2. I really don't. I'm not going to applaud Techland for finally sitting down and finishing this daggone game after they charged us full retail price for a game that was not finished. I'm not going to forget that. And I'm certainly not going to ignore the fact that this game still has tons of jank in it. Tons. And whenever I see some jank and it's, I don't know, it's funny to me, of course I'll post it on here. But today was the first time I actually sat down and played this game, and I was invested in it. I felt like I had something to do. I spent most of the day piddling around, you know, getting used to the game all over again. I did the gun mission with Jay or Jiao or whatever the hell his name is. That was a pretty exciting mission. I felt like it was not as polished as it could be. Like some of the dialogue, it felt like the characters were responding to lines of dialogue that Aiden never said. There was at least a couple moments I felt that. But, I mean, I thought that was a cool introduction to get guns in the game. I myself will not partake with the guns. I'm just not going to. I think I fiddled around with the pistol I got for 3 minutes. I killed 2 zombies with it, and then I put it back in my stash because guns was never on my bucket list. Having things to do in this game that makes me, the player, feel invested in this world, that made me interested in this update. Not the guns. I could give 2 shits less. I will not be fooling with Jay or Zhao or whatever his name is because he's just another agent. It's just more daily challenges. It's another form of currency. You got to rack up points so you can buy stuff from that particular agent. I could care less. I'm making a motion with my hand right now that's very unsavory. Use your imagination. I don't care about Harper, the Huntress, none of that. I just wanted more meaningful content to engage with. It seems like that's what we're getting now. So good. That's awesome. I don't know if my video inspired this addition to the game that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about because everybody's just, busting a nut over guns. But I'm happy with what they're doing with the game. For me personally, like, I want more things to do in the world, and yeah, the notice boards are a refreshing addition to the game. Outstanding. I look forward to I'm just gonna be binge playing the notice board missions because that's what I want to do. Because it gives me something to do in this world. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So yeah, like this is good stuff. I would argue the notice boards should have probably they should have been in the game from the start, and I kind of feel like it was in the game from the start. Like there would be daily refresh of missing persons and request letters on these notice boards that were in the game since day one, and there was nothing on those boards. So I got really aggravated with these chapter 10 mission dealios that when they're done, nobody needs nothing from you no more. And I feel like that was really lazy. And it was. So I'm really happy that Techland is starting to focus on adding meaningful content into the game that players can engage with. Good. Because I'm not fooled by a bunch of daily challenges posing as bounties. Oh, but you get this and you get that with it. No. I mean, that's fine. Sure. Oh, well, you have a chance to get a legendary weapon if you do the daily challenges, or you have a chance to buy stuff from Harper and these other 2 agents that I don't really care about. Oh, that's great. I have yet to buy one thing from Harper. I don't fool with his. I mean, I've tried to interact with that content, and I don't like it. It's tedious. It's boring. It's got no direction to it. So I didn't fool with it. But anyway, yeah. It's nice not to do a rant video about Dying Light 2. It's refreshing. It really is. Because I get sick and tired of complaining about this game. Because I can see so much potential just not being tapped at all. Right? Always going for the lowest hanging fruit. Always going for the fastest, cheapest way to do something. Oh, we need more content. Oh, well, let's just add bounty agents in there and slap some new currency and force the players to grind out that currency to get new loot. No, I don't want that. So, but yeah, notice boards, man. That's awesome. That's really awesome. But I finished the gun mission, and I could care less about it. So now I'm going to focus on the notice boards and keep exploring Villador and hopefully have more adventures with the world. So yeah, absolutely. Good Good deal. That's one thing I'm excited about. Like, I don't see a whole lot of people talk about the notice boards. I'm like, are you kidding me? I have been waiting for that. I have yelled about that. more more missions. Come on. Give Aiden something to do. The city is huge, and you mean to tell me nobody needs nothing? Really? Nobody needs a bottle of fucking aspirin around here? Nobody needs a goddamn Tic Tac? Anyway, good deal. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side.